I mean, Dear Future Wifey, over 300 letters written to you,
Yeah,
really, to you,
yeah.
for you. How does this change Dear Future Wifey going forward?
Well, what changes is that I now have my future wifey that's now in my present. She becomes my co-host. But everybody continues on this journey. I always say, journey with me as I discover, uncover, recover, love. And so we're all still recovering. Whether we are married, been married for 5 years, that people who have been married before know that who you married at 25, 35, there's a different iteration of that person at 45, at 55, at 65. And so you're always having to recommit yourself to the future version of that person. And so we just continue doing this healing work together.
Together, I mean, now you are author, Laterras R. Whitfield,
Man.
student of love, your guide to discover, uncover, and recover healthy relationships.
Yeah.
How has this journey of marriage made you a better student of love? And that's to both of you all.
So this journey of marriage. So when I wrote this book, I wrote it when I was single.
That's a different Laterras.
That's a different Laterras. And so when I was recording the audiobook, Brandi, I was recording the audiobook in Puerto Rico, and I was like, ooh.
Okay, Laterras, don't try to flex like that.
I'm just saying.
I caught it, but okay.
I'm just saying I was in Puerto Rico when I was recording the audiobook. That's just so happened to be in the place that I was recording the audiobook with Student of Love.
Amen.
And so I was in Puerto Rico and I was recording the audiobook, and I was like, ooh, this is some stuff that I need to become better at. That I become very defensive when something is brought to my attention. And I'm reading that in the book and me saying, hey, allow that person to be able to speak into your life. And it wasn't even so much even in the book that I even say those exact words, but it was the posture that I had while allowing the director in the studio session correct me on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you said you mispronounced this word. Make sure you say this. I didn't understand what you were saying. Can you repeat that? And I said, I let this man tell me what to say, how to say it, and I don't get mad. I don't get defensive because I know he wants what's best for me out of this recording. I said, do I do that with my fiance, Ashley? I said, no, not all the time. I said, so I need to give her the same level of grace that I give this total stranger to refine me and get the best out of me. I left that session. I went to the hotel. I called her and I said, I didn't call her. She was working at the event, working at Beasler. And I said, listen, I apologize to you. She's like, what? And I told her the story about what was going on. I said, you are my teammate. You are my partner. You are here to make me better, to make me things that were blind to me in my single life. You are a mirror reflecting those idiosyncrasies. And I give you permission to refine me.
Oof. You in the refining business.
Yeah.
Listen, and you probably didn't even know all that,
I
right?
didn't, but it was so beautiful that he read the book and came back and said, this book is helping me.
Yeah.
And I would say, where I'm a student of love, you get to be, in your late 30s and you're single. I've never been married. And I've become very accustomed to doing things on my own. Starting a business, buying a home, all those things make you very independent.
Yeah.
Which can be a good thing. But then when you're trying to get married and you're really a student of love, you have to understand what covering looks like, what submission really looks like, right? Are we submitting to the vision? What is the vision? So we're coming under the vision. And that was hard for me. I remember my air conditioning unit went out this summer. And he was like, I'll take care of it. I'll make some phone calls. And I was like, but it's hot in here right now because we're having a heat wave in LA and I need it now and blah, blah, blah. And I just was going on and on about how I needed it. And I'm so used to making things happen. Here I am. Now I have a man who's covering me. And that took everything in me to just back up and say,
Yeah.
and I think for other women, that may be hard as well when you're so used to having to do all the things yourself. But I had to learn how to step back, because I can get things done, Brandi.
I mean, here's what people, if they do not know who you are, you have your own business. It is a thriving business, a successful business called Doorhawks. And so you manage VIP events all across the country and globally as well. And so I can imagine, because you would be considered a boss chick, right?
Yep.
I can imagine that comes with a level of, modern woman.
Yes, it
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he did not cross them leather
Not too
pants.
much.
Wait a minute. He
Oh.
sat up at the mic.
Well, because when we talk about like even the AC things, she was like, I was in Dallas, she was in LA, and she was like, I'm gonna make some calls, and I was like, I'll do it for you. And of course, that's easy for her. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I live in LA. I can call.
I
these
make
places.
calls for a living.
I make calls for a living,
Yeah.
and I was like, let me do it. And so it was some tension in that. What I did, I ended up calling Instacart. I went on Instacart. I ordered a bunch of AC units to be around her house so that she can cool the house down. Then I started calling all these AC companies, and I was like, and I'm gonna fly to LA to be there with you. And I mean, that flight was like $850 because I had to buy it then to get there the next day. I said, Jesus. I said, oh, Lord, you court somebody long distance, boy, it's expensive. And so I had to get that flight to be there because, again, as a woman, when you're dealing with male contractors, there's that. You know what I'm saying? It's been times where she had male contractors there and they over there flirting with her like, oh, you fine. And matter of fact, the AC guy that came there the day before I was able to get there was talking about, what you say? He said it's hot.
He said, has it been hot inside?
And he said, yeah. He said, I bet you it has because you hot or something. He said, I'm sitting on call. Let me take this flight on over there. He talking about because you hot. I was like, let me get on this plane and get over here before Julio get jumped on. And so I went in, booked the flight, and went there. But that's what she has to deal with. And I just wanted her to find a place where she can rest.
Yeah.
You know, she's been working. Man, I've sat on calls with her while she's working and sitting out, working BT weekend and all that. I'll be like, girl, you be working your butt off.
Yeah.
I'm talking about out in the hot sun for 10 hours. I said, I just want to be an asset to your life. So I pride myself as being her best assistant. You know, she have an assistant, but I be outdoing her assistant. I'll be like, listen, I'm going to take shoes off. I tie a shoe up. I massage her feet. I make sure that she don't have to pick up luggage. She don't have to worry about a flight. She gets to the airport sometimes. I don't know where we going. She just walks, you know, but I want to take pressure off of her. You know, I feel like a lot of women are forced into this quote unquote masculine role because men have been absent in that role. And so my job is to say, not to force you and be like, well, you need to operate in your feminine. You need to do this.
Yeah.
I just show up more masculine in your life so you can relax.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. If that blessed you, trust me, you've only scratched the surface. There's so much more wisdom, truth, and transformation waiting in the full conversation. Click the link in the caption below to watch the entire interview. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode of Vault Empowers Talks.